What do you know about Special Olympics?
Not too much.
Not very much.
Just the fact that it's for special people. I don't know another way to describe it. There's so many different, like, paraplegics, so on and so forth.
You know, they maybe lose a limb here or there, or they're not functional as we are, right?
I know that it's on after the Olympics typically, but don't know very much about it.
I should know more, right? But I know, like, it's held every, after every Olympics, right? And it probably should get more attention.
I think it usually starts after the Olympics. Is that right?
Are you thinking about Paralympics?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Special Olympics is a little different.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what it is? Okay. What is Special Olympics?
Special Olympics is about providing sports for people with intellectual disabilities.
Okay. In that case, I know nothing about Special Olympics. Yeah.
We live in a very troubled world, and it's easy to get really down. Well, if you want to be shaken out of that and realize how good our society really is, there's a terrific example with Special Olympics and the people who work on it.
This is Sport for All, the Special Olympics.
Right here. I thought coming down here, I said, my wife said, how long are you going to be? I said, I don't know, but we've got about 65 years to cover.
89-year-old Canadian Dr. Frank Hayden is the pioneer of the Special Olympics movement.
I grew up in St. Catharines, and I still remember the start. I didn't know what sport was about, and a couple of guys came to me and said, hey, why don't you come and play in our basketball team? I think it was in a church league, and that got me started. So over the years, I played everything. Football at high school, basketball, track, lacrosse, baseball as well. And then when I went to Western, I wrestled. That experience with sport and what it did for my life, without that, God, my life would have been very, very different.
I'm on my way to a local arena for our registration night. Our athletes are coming out this evening to sign up for their fall-winter sports programs.
Sarah Bauer is a volunteer basketball coach for Special Olympics Burlington.
I have butterflies because I'm excited to see everyone, and I'm really excited about starting our program up again. Really looking forward to working with my athletes and taking them to the next level. So this is a big season. The team that I coach has potentially qualified for the provincial games, which is an amazing event to have happened. I'm really excited to see everyone. I have been with Burlington Special Olympics basketball for 10 years. This is actually coming up onto my 11th year as a coach. I first started volunteering because I felt like that was an important part of my life that was missing. I wasn't giving back to the community in any way, and it was something that I felt like I could contribute to. I have been a teacher for 30 years, and I love basketball. I've played basketball all my life, and I've coached basketball in the public school setting. Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
Nice to see you. You have a good summer?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Working hard?
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah? You're helping set up today?
Yes, I am.
Well, we need you here. That's good that we've got extra volunteers. So very soon the athletes will be coming in and signing up for the various sports that they participate in. Some of them participate in one sport, some of them participate in more than one sport, but once they come in here, they make sure their paperwork is all in order, and then they sign up specifically with basketball, bowling, curling, gymnastics, speed skating, swimming, or floor hockey. And those are the sports programs that we run through the fall and winter season. Okay, you're coming to basketball?
I'm just coming to basketball.
Okay, let's go. Let's get you over here.
That's the only sport I'm going to play.
All right, Laura's here. Okay.
Nice for her.
Awesome. Okay, so glad that you're back.
You're back, baby. All right.
When I started coaching, we had a very small group of athletes. Our program has grown from 8 to 12 athletes to over 50 with people on waiting lists.
Okay, I gotta say hi to Kandace. Yeah. Well, who is this? Come on over here. How are you? Good. Welcome back. We made it. Well, close. We're like a hair away from it being official.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
I'm really, 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 really excited. It's gonna be such a good season too.
It is. Yeah. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Hi, Lee. How's it going?
Good.
Nice to see you, buddy.
See ya. Hey.
Hey, did you have a good summer?
Yes, I had a good summer.
Okay, that's good. So, you're signing up for basketball again?
Basketball
right?
and hockey.
And hockey, of course. Those are your two good winter sports, right? Awesome. Nice to see that. You're back again for another year. How many years has it been now? Do we even know?
It's been.
Were you playing basketball 10 years for me, or 11?
Was I?
I think so, something like that. It's a long time.
I was.
You were a young guy back then.
I'm 29 now.
I know.
I'm getting older.
I know. Now, your mom's helping out tonight here.
Yeah, and so is Margie. Margie's just over in the blue shirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we go and say hi?
Sure.
Okay.
Bring the camera.
I did my graduate work at the University of Illinois. I went to Western, and then from there it was suggested I go to graduate school. And University of Illinois was the foremost in the field of fitness and exercise and so on. And eventually I was graduating, had a wife, 3 kids, and another one on the way, and I didn't have a job. And fortunately for me, something opened up at the University of Toronto, so I came up and interviewed for that, and they said, yes, we'll hire you. My boss there was Dr. Harry Ebbs, terrific guy. He was the chief of pediatrics at Sick Kids Hospital, and my appointment was to be full-time research. My background is really physiology with a full minor in psychology. So I went back to finish up working on my dissertation. He called me, he said, I have a chance for a grant that'll pay half your salary.
The job entailed studying the effects of regular exercise on the fitness levels of children with intellectual disabilities.
And I had nothing in that side with my psychology work. I said, well, I'll call you back in 2 days and let you know. So I went to the library at the University of Illinois, and I looked to see what's been done, and virtually nothing. So I said, Frank, you'll be an instant expert. No problem. And so I called him back and said, yeah, I'll do that. I went to Harry Ebbs, as I say, at Sick Kids Hospital. I said, do you have anybody here that knows anything about Down syndrome? He says, oh, we have one of the world's leading experts. And so I had a meeting with her, and I said to her, you know, I look at the soft, flaccid, hypotonic body build of Down's people. And I said, you know, do you think that if I exercise those muscles the same way we do in a gym with resistance exercise and so on, that those Down's muscles would respond in the same way that other people's muscle do, non-Down? And she thought for a minute, and she said no. And I said, really, why not? And she said, I don't have a reason, but I don't think so.
Over 50 years ago, people with intellectual disabilities were grossly misunderstood.
A lot of mothers and fathers were told when their kid was born, especially if it was Down syndrome, you might as well put it up there in the hospital and forget about him because he'll never do this, he'll never do that, and whatnot. And that was their life in that place.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Nolan, and I'm Lee Nolan's mother. Lee was born in the autism spectrum. He has a seizure disorder, and he also has ADD. When he was a little kid, he was super high energy, sort of like a bowl of Jell-O on 2 feet. So we had to sort of harness that energy. Yeah, so we got him into baseball at age 5. A nice little scenario. He figured out that as soon as he came home, he gets to bat again, and he loves hitting. So every time he'd hit, he'd run to third. And the coach would be going, no, Lee, you have to go this way. He goes, are you kidding? if I'm here, I get to hit again.
So Lee, the first thing we're going to have you do is you're just going to look into this camera here right now, and you're just going to say, I'm Lee Nolan.
I'm Lee.
One sec.
Okay.
And I'm a Special Olympic athlete.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Hi, I'm Lee Nolan, and I'm a Special Olympic athlete.
What is your specialty on the basketball court? Is it rebounds, shooting?
Oh, wait, I know. It's shooting, rebounds, and boxing them out.
They always told me that, oh, be careful, because if you have an autistic child, they probably won't be social, they won't be verbal, you know, they won't let you touch them. So we took Lee to all these special classes, socialization classes, and as you can see, I think he's fine in that department.
Lee is like our social ambassador, and he will work the room, so to speak, and he is the embodiment of a positive spirit. He is so inclusive and friendly.
He loves to be around people, and yeah, he's very easy to be with.
Many years ago, when we were playing against another team, Lee was in the middle of a game doing well. We needed him on the court.
And he looks over and he sees these pretty girls. So he's screaming to his coach, time.
He actually left the court in the middle of the game and introduced himself.
And he goes over and he goes, hey, my name's Lee. It was really funny. It just absolutely broke the whole place up.
Is that how it went?
That's how it went.
Were you nervous to do that?
Not at all.
Lee, you could help a lot of guys get over their fear of women.
That's right.
Dr. Frank's research took place at the Beverly School in downtown Toronto.
There were about, I think, about 350 kids at that school. They came in taxis from all over Toronto every day, went home in taxis. When they got home, nobody played with them on the street, you know. They didn't even teach them to ride a bicycle because they thought they couldn't do it, you know, that kind of thing. So no wonder they were unfit. I figure it's lifestyle. There were two people in that school who were running the phys ed program in there, Harold Woods and Doreen Crystal. Both of whom have passed on now, but we did testing, and I was so inspired by what I saw there, I couldn't wait to go. First of all, I had to develop some fitness and performance tests that would be valid and reliable with people with those disabilities, that they understood and get them to cooperate. Wasn't always easy. We did a 300-yard run that we marked out around the gym, and kid, you know, might be 6 laps, and he'd run 4 and then look out the window and see a dog going down the street and stop and go, say, no, John, you know, come back tomorrow and we'll do it again. But in the end, we found out we could do that, and they were reliable and valid measures of strength and endurance and whatnot. That's good. And then from there, I compared them with the group down the street at the recreation center and with kids of the same age, and found out, as I said, they're about half as fit. So designed 2 or 3 different kinds of training programs to see if we could change that. And we did. And within a school year, one school year, we closed half that gap. They weren't half as fit, they were 75% as fit, and they're still getting better, you know, and they love to do it.
Kandace Moroso is a Special Olympics athlete.
So like in the winter, I do 3. So there's basketball, gymnastics, and speed skating. And then in the summer, there's only 2, soccer and track and field. So I'm very busy a lot, which I like being busy because I like to stay active, and yeah.
I would say the most important role that Kandace fills on our basketball team is one of being a leader. She is calm, rock steady, and helps her team on the court with positioning and getting back on defense and making sure that everyone gets a chance to score.
Well, she was just a little kid starting a Special Olympics. She was only just over 10. I'm Denise Moroso, and I'm Kandace's mother. I remember this. She came home and said, I need to do gymnastics. Didn't really have a full knowledge of Special Olympics or where that was in Burlington. She literally came off the bus and said, my friends are doing it, and I need to do this.
All right, Kandace. So, are you excited about your first practice?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, how excited are you?
Very excited.
What are you looking forward to?
Just being back with the team and seeing all the coaches and seeing Coach Sarah, because she's a really good coach for our team.
Good.
Ready to go?
Yes. I'm gonna go upstairs for 1 sec.
Could you tie my shoes, please?
Tie your shoes, okay.
Well, I did do the first shoe. Does that look good?
Do you want me to redo it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you.
Look, I just have to look at these are a little bit loose. Yeah. These fit you still?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do.
There you go.
Love you. Thank you very much.
Kandace was born with a global developmental delay.
When it came to early milestones of walking and talking, etc., she didn't meet those milestones. At the age of 3, she literally was just piecing a few words together, and she should have been well on her way to speaking and conversing. You know, as a parent, what's the word? It's, you don't always know what to expect, right? And not necessarily comparing her to her older sister, but you kind of do in a way, but then you realize, no, this is a different path, that we're taking, and for her, and different needs for her. So we tapped into all the services out there to get the help that I needed and the help that she really truly needed to get to the next stage of her life.
When I first came to that school, I'd look and they'd go out for recess in this big yard beside, and they're all standing or sitting around the outside and sort of talking to each other, and that was it. In a couple of years after I finished there, it was bedlam out there. The way a place should be at recess, It's a little problem for the teachers, but I think it changed their attitude toward themselves, just like anybody, when they found out what they can do, and somebody slapped them on the back and said, way to go, John or Mary, your life's different then, We had one boy in there, John. John's father was a very successmal, high-level businessman in Toronto. And when John arrived and he was told that he had his father that he had a mental handicap, the father wouldn't believe it. So he took him everywhere to try to have somebody tell him it wasn't so, or give him a magic bullet, and as it all changed. And he wouldn't put John in school. He kept him at home, and he hid him away and wouldn't even admit that he had John. And finally, some friend talked to him and said, you really should get him into school. So he sent him down to Beverly School. John was, by then, about 12, 13, and he was a handful. He was tough, he'd been shut away all this time. He didn't know how to react with other people. And eventually, John started to come around. Well, then we find that John had good athletic abilities. He was great. So he comes and he gets to the floor hockey, and he's the dominant force on the team. I said, geez, that's really great. And so the games would go along, but then somebody would come and take the puck off him, and he'd be after that. And I said, no, John, that's not part of it. So they said, geez, what do we do, Frank? I said, well, put him in goal, and that'll take him out of trouble, So they said, oh, yeah, we'll try that. So they put him in goal. Well, he was great in goal. But as soon as they got one by him, he'd go after the guy for putting it there. And so finally, they said, what are we going to do? And they said, I think it was Harold that said, maybe we should make a referee out of him. You know, I can't get in trouble. So he came and he refereed the games along with somebody, one of the teachers, so that helped. And eventually he had refereed by himself and he was handling it. And he liked the authority, and he was terrific. They got him a striped shirt, and he had all the authority. But when he became 18, I think it was that he had to leave the school. And he went out to a residence out in Scarborough, which is a long way from the school. But he loved the experience of floor hockey so well that every Friday he came in. He had to come in by himself as well there. And he had to take, I think, like 2 buses and a streetcar, learn to make change and buy tickets, where to get off, walk down to the school. But he was motivated enough by his experience in sport that he wanted to do that every Friday, and he showed up. Yeah.
All set? Mm-hmm. I don't know why you're yawning so much.
I don't know.
I should be the one yawning.
Yawning. You get to sleep in this morning. I didn't. I had to wake up early.
Are you nervous now or no?
A little bit. But yeah.
How does Special Olympics make you feel about yourself in terms of your abilities, what you can do?
I think it just kind of makes you feel proud about yourself, like that you can like show people that you're not afraid of things, that like you can be brave and like be a team leader for your team.
Basketball in Burlington, I mean, that's far more important in the context of everything we're going to do than the World Games in Abu Dhabi. That's important too, of what it contributes.
Hey, Kandace. Good. Good.
The most important unit in Special Olympics is the local unit. What happens every day on a field, on a track, in a gym, on an ice rink, whatever, that's really what Special Olympics is.
Okay, balls away, please. Come and sit with your group. Hi, Paul. Welcome back. Here's a good spot for you right here, okay? Welcome back.
Organization doesn't run without the volunteers. It just doesn't run. Hi, I'm Glenn McDonnell. I'm the president and CEO of Special Olympics Ontario. We have so many different types of volunteers. The common and everyday one would be the coach.
So welcome back. We're really looking forward to another fantastic season of basketball with Burlington Special Olympics. Hey, right? And almost all of our athletes have come back from last year, just about everybody. And that means you're really dedicated to basketball, and I hope it means you have fun when you're here. So remember, that's number one for us, that you have a lot of fun. If you have any questions or you're not sure about something, always feel like you can come to the coaches, okay? Yes, Isabella?
I wish.
I'm 16 now.
We're not just sitting down.
No, I'm 16.
Oh, you've turned 16?
Yes, I did.
When was your birthday?
May 20.
May 20th. You know what we do? We sometimes save birthday celebrations for the end of practice. Okay, well, congratulations, you're 16. You want happy birthday to be sung to you?
Yes.
Well, you know what? We do that at the end of practice, okay? We're going to start with a warm-up. Now, I hope you're not out of shape from sitting around all summer. That better not have happened. If you're not in shape now, you're going to get in shape. So, in basketball, we don't walk. We run safely with our eyes up. And when you are dribbling, Owen, can you dribble over to me? That's it. Did you see how Owen has the ball in front of him and he's pushing it down? He's keeping his eyes up. That's what I'd like to see you do. Owen, dribble back. There we go. All right, you ready? I want to see some more energy here. I want to see you run.
There are lots of different levels of Special Olympics sports. Of course, there's a very high elite level. And then we have other levels that are different from that. So Every individual athlete can participate whatever level they're at.
Oh, I gotta steal your ball, Riley. Keep dribbling. Keep dribbling. Good dribbling, Riley. Oh, I can't steal it from you. Oh, good job.
I've also increased the quality of our program, I think, to incorporate very significant skill building for our athletes so that they can be better basketball players.
When we're shooting, you have to make sure there's a few things in place. Get your feet ready. So your feet are about, not too wide, Michael, not too close, about shoulder width apart. When you bring the ball up, you make a nice square elbow like this, okay? And then when you release the ball, I want to see your hand follow through, like I'm trying to get that really good cookie in the cookie jar, way on the top shelf. And I got to like reach high and get my hand up there. Show me. Yep, I'm ready. And really throw it. Yes. Yes, good. Nice, Laura. Show me, Rebecca. You're not shooting up. Yes. Okay, but let it go nice and high. Like you're shooting straight up here. Show me, Michael. Let it go. Let your ball go. Like this. Okay. Oh, you're already going for the net.
The first thing everybody seems to say, it's the opportunity. I can play and I can participate just like others in the community.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Isabella and everybody. Happy birthday to you. All right. Okay, and it's going to be flames on 3. 1, 2, 3, flames! Woo!
Quite literally, I was sitting at a desk at a tiny office I had at Western in the basement, Thames Hall. When the idea struck me, I started thinking about how do we use, sport is the answer. If we're going to make the changes that are possible here, it has to be sport. It has the motivation, the goals, the support system. I thought, we'll start and we'll build little local programs here and then encourage them to eventually see if they can do regional games. And I wrote a proposal for a national games for 1967, Canada's centennial. But unfortunately, no one there was interested. So I got a call one day from Washington, and the guy said, I'm from Southern Illinois University, and I'm an advisor to the Kennedy Foundation. I said, Kennedy Foundation, what's that? And he tells me the Kennedy family have a foundation to help people with mental handicap. And he says, we've read some things you've written, or the Kennedys have, and they want to know if you'll come down and talk to them about your work and send anything else you think they might like to read before you come. And one of the things I sent before I went down was a proposal for the National Centennial Games. Sergeant Shriver, who at that time he was director, he was first director of the Peace Corps for Kennedy, and he married to Eunice Shriver. I met them up at their estate in Maryland. The one piece of paper he had in his hand was the thing for the National Centennial Games. And he said, can you do this in the United States? And I said, well, somebody can, but not me. I said, I got a job, I have responsibility, and my students. When I was going out the door, Eunice says, well, Sarge, wait a minute. We're not going to just let him walk out the door. What do we do now? And he said, I don't see any problem. He said, Dr. Hayden will come down here to Washington and he work. I said, wait, I told you. I can't come. When I went back to Western for the next 2 months, every week I'd get a telex or a phone call. When are you coming? When are you coming? And I'd say, I'm not coming. And in 3 months I was there.
Sport offers that unique ability to test yourself. It pushes you. And that was a really key thing that Dr. Hayden suggested and continues to hammer home today. It's not just good enough to just have a play day, but there should be some structure and some training. And from that, there's great benefits of learning.
To watch him focus, it amazes me. You can't believe it, because normally he's, like I say, He's very hyperactive. So his ability to do that has really improved. And I've noticed as he does more sports, he's not so wiggly and he's calmer. It's wonderful. I think Lee has a little bit more confidence. He used to wait until he would run down to the end of the court and wait until somebody passed him the ball. Now I can actually see him taking the ball down the court and doing it, which is great because he would never have the confidence to do that.
I want to get better at like layups because I'm not really good at them, so kind of want to get better in that.
Yeah, I mean, she's developed skills we didn't even know she had, actually, which is great.
Jerry Moroso is Kandace's father.
Going into it, she used to have, probably a fear of anything where it required maybe, sort of leadership or taking charge of things. And I think as she grows in the sport and it develops that competitive spirit, it instills that confidence.
I've seen Kandace during a fairly competitive, heated game, feeling like a player that she was competing against was perhaps moving a little close on defense.
There can be times when, there's a little people who are rough and start back talking. Yeah.
So she actually, in that particular occasion, had to say to the other player, now hold on, in the middle of a game, now hold on, you need to give us some space here. And she recognizes that for many of our athletes, having aggressive physical contact is very difficult for them to manage. And she was putting herself out there as a shield, as a barrier.
It's kind of just shows how she's kind of come from. Maybe a couple years ago, she wouldn't have done that. But now she feels that, hey, I have a right to say something.
Eunice Kennedy Shriver founded the Special Olympics movement in 1968 when over 1,000 athletes came to Chicago for the first games.
In ancient Rome, the gladiators went into the arena with these words on their lips: "Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt." Today, all of you young athletes are in the arena. Many of you will win. But even more important, I know you will be brave and bring credit to your parents and to your country. Let us begin the Olympics. Thank you.
Marion, my wife and I, we were on a platform directing those games all day.
There were only a handful of parents in the stands of Soldier Field, but everyone could feel that this was a watershed moment.
My work wasn't just to create 2 or 3 days of games in Chicago, but I was looking long-term down the road, and by 1970 I had state organizations and annual state games in every state, all 50, and all 50 came to the second games in 1970. I mean, the idea just appealed to people. The same kind of enthusiasm that we're talking about, it happened everywhere. I went to the first UK Special Olympic Games were a place called Knowsley, up near Liverpool. And I went there. I was living in Paris, then developing Europe. And I have been back and forth quite a bit. At the opening ceremonies, after the athletes came in, behind them, there's this whole group of people walked in with navy blazers, gray slacks, gray skirts, white shirt, red, white, and blue tie. They look fantastic. And I looked at them and I said to some, I said, who are they? And they said, oh, they're the officials for the games. I said, you're kidding? He says, oh no. I said, they've recruited the top officials in track and field in the UK. They're the top ones. And I'm panicked. I'm saying, geez, I hope we're ready for them, or what their impression is going to be. After the closing ceremonies that day on a Saturday afternoon, I was out on the field again talking to the games director, and 2 of the officials came up to us. And they said, excuse me, could we talk to you for a minute? I said, yeah. He said, well, we just had a meeting of the officials, and they wanted me to convey a message to you. And I thought, oh, God, you know, what are they going to say? What we did, you know, change this, do that, this, and, you know, or not. And I said, well, yes, what is the message? And they said, they want me to tell you that if you ever do this again, and I thought, yeah. They said, please invite us back. He said, this is the best experience we've ever had in sport with our 2-3 days here, and we'd love to do it again.
You know, when you have a child that has a intellectual disability, they're regular kids. They need to be treated the same and be included.
I more look at them just like everybody else. All of the problems that they have, we all have. It's the difference of degree, not kind, you know.
Going through public school, the special kids are always in a corner. I know they were in the classroom, but they were always separated. You know, and I don't care how special needs you are, you feel that.
Did you ever experience any bullying situations?
Oh yeah, it was terrible. I mean, a great big guy, 6'6". Lee is not a fighter. We've always taught if somebody bothers you or bullies you, just turn around and leave. Yeah, he was bullied constantly. It was terrible.
Do you see how it's affected him in little ways?
Not really, but I know that he's extremely, he gets extremely upset if he sees somebody hurt or injured, or if somebody looks in distress. He wants to help anybody that, even if they don't seem to know they need help, he wants to be there for them.
So I see that kind of spirit go on all of the time when we are playing basketball. The athletes are so kind to each other and so supportive, and it's just really beautiful actually to see how encouraging they are. And if anyone needs any kind of support, they get each other. They understand what it's like to have a moment where they might need a little bit of support, so they're there for each other on the court.
When I think about Kandace, she's very compassionate. She's always thinking about what can she do for someone else.
She sort of migrates to those that maybe have higher needs than even she may have. And I think she kind of helps them, you know, one-on-one. I mean, I've seen her in action. She used to do swimming. She would work one-on-one with an athlete that was legally blind. And I've seen her, you know, with, we have some athletes that are highly autistic or nonverbal. I'll see her sort of migrate towards them to just give them that extra confidence, or be with them to give them that reassurance. And that's something you can't teach. I think that's something that's innate within her character.
She doesn't see that other athlete as someone that's different or has a disability. She sees them for who they are. It's exactly how you should be, how everyone should be.
Oh, dear Frank, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm Frank.
Frank, congratulations.
Thank you. Geez, it's chilly, eh?
A little bit. It's warm inside.
Car's warm, eh?
Yes. And
I'll
I
let
can
you
turn it up higher if you need.
Mayor?
Yes, yes. All this fell out of your briefcase, I think.
No kidding.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, there's a check for the Sports Hall of Fame in there. I better get it. I'm paying them off. You okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, away we go.
Frank and his wife Marion are on their way to Toronto for the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So the whole family's coming tonight?
Only about 14 of them.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, to begin this very special anniversary celebration, 25 years of the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame.
I'm being inducted as a builder. Actually, I think this is the 5th or 6th Hall of Fame. Yeah. Well, and I say, but I tell my kids, I say, it's always as a builder. I trade them all for just once for performance.
The soul of the Special Olympics, Dr. Frank Hayden. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Founders Award, the Bruce Prentice Legacy Award. Bruce is the past chairman and the founder of the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame. The award this year is presented to a visionary and to a pioneer, to someone who is a companion of the Order of Canada and a member of Canada's Sports Hall of Fame. He has changed the lives of millions of young people worldwide. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the great Dr. Frank Hayden of Special Olympics.
You know, as time goes on, you think a little bit back on moments in your life, and they become even more meaningful as time goes by. And that idea of us being sport and getting acceptance into the sport family, your family, was a major, major undertaking. And because you did accept us, it isn't just that we get awards like this, which are terrific, but it's made a tremendous difference in the quality and quantity of the sport programs we're able to do. So I thank you on behalf of all our athletes. Actually, just to update the film a little bit, there are about 5 million athletes across the world right now in over 190 countries. So thank you for what you do, all of you, for Special Olympics. Yeah. I've never campaigned to get credit for what I did because that's a waste of time. My satisfaction is that it worked, you know, and it was there. And the great relationships, you know, if I could wave a magic wand, I'd love to bring together all the people that I've worked with around the world, across Canada, across the United States, and but you lose contact even in today's communications world where it's relatively easy, but you do leave, and it's a loss from my life not to be able to see them and talk to them and do things with them that way.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
Hi, Lee.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, Steph. How's it going? Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Lee. How's it going?
It's going good.
Good. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Did you have a fun Halloween?
I did. I handed out the candy. We got like 10 kids.
Oh, is that all?
11 and 12 kids.
Oh, well, that's not too many, is it?
No, that's not too many.
Did you have a lot of candy left over?
Yeah.
Did you eat it all?
No, I didn't eat it all. I had 1 or 2 pieces, but then I gave the rest to my roommates.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Big game. Big game, yeah. Hey, Tony, how's it going? I got you on Facebook. I got you.
Oh, you got it? Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I said I got you.
Tonight, the Burlington Flames will play members of the local police.
They look big, but they're not really that scary. Yeah. Do some of you recognize who we have over here on the chairs? Okay. We have Mrs. Hayden and Dr. Frank Hayden here with us, and Glenn McDonnell representing Special Olympics Ontario. And we are so thrilled to have you come out tonight and see us play, especially because we have our guests, the police officers, here tonight. We usually beat them. Oh, the police never win. They never win. No, the police never win. The last thing I want to say before we get started, and this is super important, may I have please the following athletes just stand where you are. Adam, Alexa, Brendan, Cameron, Kandace, Carmine, Duncan, Owen, Rachel, and Stephanie. I am so excited to share this official news with all of our team members. The people that are standing here have qualified to attend the provincial games next May in Kitchener-Waterloo, and it has been officially announced, so let's give these athletes a big show of applause. And it's the first time we've had a Burlington team qualify for provincial games. So it's a really great accomplishment, which we're really excited about. So well done, everyone, okay?
It made me feel really good because, like, we worked my team has worked very hard, so we earned it. So we're very grateful in that we're going.
We have worked with these players over a number of seasons and seen incredible growth in skills and abilities, and they're coming together as a team.
We're so excited. We're gonna have the best time of our lives.
My name's Sean Thomas. I'm a constable with Halton Regional Police. It's actually the one basketball game I try to make no matter what.
Law enforcement is the biggest supporter of the Special Olympics movement worldwide.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, like there's a lot of skill there. Like I'm a 47-year-old and I'm dying running with these guys, so it's pretty good.
Say check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3.
We're good.
He's got it.
He's got it. We're good.
I look forward to this every year, as Mom always says, yes. And she's right.
Lee, how was the game?
It was awesome. I got one basket at the start.
Nice.
I enjoyed playing with the police tonight. I have a good relationship with them.
It's nice to always see the kids after the game. They're really excited and they've had a good time with it. So I think for me, that's perfect. I don't need anything more.
It's hard to say in just a couple of words the impact Special Olympics has had on my life. It's brought joy, it's brought friendship, it's inspired me, it's made me feel connected to other human beings.
I tell them too, I thank them for what they do, and I say, I tell you, I know too that there are all kinds of other things that you do every day that no one will ever know about, that you just do them. You don't talk about them, and the whole program and our athletes benefit from all of that.
Special Olympics means everything to me. If I did not do Special Olympics, I don't know what I would do.
I'm glad that I had this ability to use my whole body, like to use my legs and to use like my hands to shoot with the ball, like jump up. And that's just a gift that I got from that's just a gift that I got from God, you know?
I almost sometimes don't feel as if it's me giving my time as a volunteer. I feel like it's a completely mutual relationship.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Lee.
Yeah, I'm Marion.
Hi, Marion. I know you.
Yeah, we met before.
Look at how tall he is.
I know, he's talking to me.
Oh, I wanted to tell you something. It's my birthday pretty soon.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'm turning 30.
He's turning 30 years old.
What's your date for your birthday?
November 17.
Well, I have a birthday in January. January 11th. You know how old I'm going to be?
How?
19. Don't tell anyone.
Congratulations.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
I won't. It's a secret.
Yeah, between you and me.
After the first year or two, I remember a phone call from two women out in out west someplace, I think in Oregon. And they said, we got a problem at our school, Special Olympics thing we do. I says, well, what's that? And he said, well, a lot of the other parents are lying about their kids, claiming that they're mentally handicapped to get them into our program. So, because this sport isn't that great for the rest, so they're telling people that their kid have a mental handicap and they don't. And they said, what do you think we should do about it? I said, don't do a damn thing about it. Take them in. That's great. And I said, and if they're capable, they can provide some good role models and your kids will get better faster as well. And so don't worry about that. I often say that I've been in every region of the world with Special Olympics and other things. And you know, we're much more alike than we're different. You know, we have the impression because people like to, some people capitalize on differences and split them apart. We're all much more alike than we're different. And if I go to Kenya or Australia or China or wherever, it's the same, you know. We're just people.
Director, Christian Urban. Producers, Christian Urban, Randall Urban. Narrator, Christian Urban. Director of Photography, Sabre Walker. Videographers, Jeff Rocky, John Butler. Editors, Randall Urban, Christian Urban, Jeffrey Garriock. Photos and videos courtesy of Special Olympics Ontario, Jennifer Nolan, the Moroso family, Special Olympics Inc. Integrated Described Video Specialist, M. Williams. Regional Content Specialist, Karen McGee. Graphics, Mike Smith. Coordinating Producer, Jennifer Johnson. Director Production, Kara Nye. Director Programming, Brian Perdue. VP Programming and Production, John Melville. President and CEO, David Arrington. Copyright 2019, Accessible Media, Inc.
When I talk to the kids at the Hayden High School, I say, you know, you have to take care of yourself and be ambitious and do things and get ahead, but you will find as life goes on that you get far more enjoyment and excitement and satisfaction from what you do for other people than what you do for yourself.